Hello, big beautiful world. Today we're going to do a bush trip. We're going to do the bush trip in this, the G21. This is the Sobo one from the 40th anniversary, and although it looks entirely too cute and lovable, must admit, maybe too little too late compared to the payware one that we got and even the freeware one, which are extraordinary by comparison. This is a little light on for fun and Easter eggs, I think. I could be wrong. Done one quick flight, but anyway, this is the bush trip up to Unalaska, Chernofski. And we're going to just start her up. I'll control here because first time around it gave me grief and I can't be asked going through the motions all over again just to do everything. So let's have a look. Certainly is pretty, but one thing that I wanted to point out is I'll show you, easier to demonstrate. So I use my game filter for my NVIDIA card. Now ordinarily I use setting 2 for Europe, America, Australia, wherever I fly, Africa, you name it. So it just richens everything up, but here it just makes it a little too golden in the afternoon light, which is alright, which is okay, but it also takes the viz out substantially, and I need that viz. Can't find any cockpit lighting or anything like that to control. Maybe it's me being lazy, but yeah, anyway, let's get up in the air. She do like to get up into the air very easily. I want to take her up around a grand, get our undercarriage up. How does it? Yeah, looks gorgeous. Let's do the right thing, get her up around the thou.
550, roger. Have a good flight.
Thank you. Cheers, Tower. Same to you. Yeah, we'll take her up, we'll bring her around. We'll start trimming her out early. Alright, cool. Try and keep her at about 2 grand. Just over thereabouts. So we're heading up, is it Chernofski Harbor? Yeah, Chernofski Harbor. There we go. It's already written there in the corner. Good on me. Yeah, I wanted to do this bush flight because I wanted to see how the G21 behaves. Like I said, I had taken it up the other week when I loaded in the 40th anniversary, and I kind of was, if I'm to be honest, underwhelmed for all the eye candy. Like I said, too little too late. Still an amazing work, always, not to detract from the development team, but yeah, I just anyway, so this is a bush trip, and the reason I've taken this is because it's only the one leg. It's about half an hour, maybe a little more. We'll see how we go. We're going to fly through the eye of the storm, I'm suspecting. And what a hella looking cloud that is. It is pretty bloody gorgeous, let's face it. Alright, in my usual bumbling stream of consciousness manner, I will just trim her out low and slow, or low and quick in this case, because it's got quite a clip on it. Get the hands off, or relatively hands off. and then start blathering on about all the goodies I bought during the sales, I guess. Maybe make some crap up as I'm normally inclined to do. If you're listening in for the first time, I pity you. If you're a repeat offender, then thanks for coming back, thanks for liking, thanks for the comments, thanks for the feedback. It does, you know, even though I'm a churlish old git, it does give me the warmer fuzzies, and I appreciate any kind of feedback. I try not to live in a vacuum, in some sort of pool of narcissism. That being said, I do hope you come along. I find these things to be profoundly soothing in their kooky way. So this thing does feel heavy, which is to its credit, because it is a heavy twin.
6 Whiskey Charlie calling base. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, hello.
6 Whiskey Charlie, this is Dutch Harbor base. Go ahead. Amazing. Sounds like you're right down the street, but we're hundreds of miles away over Shemya, with Attu on the horizon. And if I squint real hard, I can just make out the end of the Earth from here. Roger that. End of the Earth in sight. You still planning on staying out there for the night? Yeah, might as well. I'm pretty beat. You don't need the plane until noon tomorrow, right? Correct. We gotta take that documentary crew and all their gear to Kodiak. There's a heck of a storm blowing in right now anyway. Gotcha. Severe clear out here. So yeah, I'll spend an exciting night out on the town on Attu with a handful of the Coast Guard's finest. Got one on board now and we've been chatting the whole way. Navy SEAL during the 60s. Full of stories. I bet. Don't believe everything he says. I used to be married to a SEAL, you know. Oh yeah, forgot about that. Oh, by the way, we're pretty sure that we saw an Ikranoplan in Mchika Pass. Sure you did. No, really. It looked like a huge jet skimming the surface in ground effect, and it appeared to be heading your way at a pretty fast clip. Looked like one of those new bridge guy ground effect yachts to me, but the SEAL thinks it's the Caspian Sea Monster. Okay, we'll be on the lookout for it. True story. He got a ride in one once, so he should know. I'll talk to you in the morning. Sleep well out there. Face out. 6 Whiskey Charlie, out.
Okay, so we might be lucky. That'll be cool if we catch an Ikranoplan. Beautiful. I will be overjoyed. Who doesn't love a good Caspian Sea monster? Well, and who was the other? Was it Bettini, the Italian designer who made other ground effect aircraft, GEVs? I think it was Bettini, Bertoli. Oh, I don't know, but he made some amazing looking critters as well. I'm pretty sure he was one of the brainiacs behind the Ikranoplan as well. Interesting. Okay, so what are we doing, Pete's? Oh gosh, yeah, no, we need juice. I don't know why I pulled the throttle back so hard. Anyway. So, the sales. What have you been buying? What have you been purchasing? What have you been downloading? Talk to me. I myself, I don't know if I announced it previously, I bought the Just Flight Piper Warrior, and I've got it, the Warrior 2. I love it more than I have a right to. I didn't think I'd be so impressed by the bloody thing. I really bought it for that BEA, a kind of schizophrenic BEA BOAC paint job. Absolutely loved that livery ever since I saw it come out. But it's a great aircraft. It's hands-on, it demands your attention, it rewards you. It is, are we allowed to say it? In 2023, it is study level. You get all kinds of cool Easter eggs with it. Why am I still... Look, let's go to 75% of the juice, yeah? Bring her over. We just keep our eye on that node. Now, running her close to the line. I don't want her anywhere near the line. I want her up around 160, 170 if I can get it there. Should be able to. Should be a no-brainer. These things are, in spite of the ugly duckling routine, they're really quite a grunty machine. So yeah, I bought the Piper Warrior. I also, against my better judgment, I bought the Piper Grasshopper, the L4, because it has that float plane variant. And again, it was on special. It was 17 bucks or something Oz. I couldn't resist. I haven't taken it up yet. I have been, what have I been doing flight sim wise other than buying crap? I've been continuing my flight around Australia. So I flew from Wyndham up to Darwin, and Darwin over to Jabiru on the western edge of the Kakadu National Park, up in Queensland, up in Northern Territory. And that's really exhilarating, flying around a country, doing the circumnavigating countries at a time. I might find myself doing more of that once I complete Australia. I'm about probably about halfway there, I guess. Where did I take off from? Lilydale, north of Melbourne, or northeast of Melbourne. So yeah. You want to keep us. Come on. Get me in the cruise. Get me. Bloody lovely part of the world. Barren as hell, but really pretty. Gorgeous, mate. I'm going to have to reread the Battle of Kiska and the Battle of Atu, the Battle for the Aleutians. That was extraordinary. To this day, historians debate whether it was the diversionary attack by the Japanese. I think the consensus is that no, they were hedging their bets. If Pearl Harbor, no, Midway, wasn't it? Midway, I think, yes. If Midway didn't pan out the way they wanted, then they would increase their garrison force up in up this way. But there's a famous Frank Capra footage, one of those Why We Fight, or in that Why We Fight series. And it's the colour footage of the Aleutians, so you get the beautiful footage of the Catalinas when the Seabees first put the PSB plates down for the makeshift runway. I think it was at Kiska, or maybe up to, and they then you see, you know, they come in and they're virtually hydroplaning on the water because, you know, it's a very damp part of the world, rainy part of the world, miserable according to the troops up there. And I think it was the Battle of Kiska or the Battle of Arthur where I think it was 120 odd troops died, none of them at the hands of the enemy. That being said, then you get that beautiful colour footage of the Liberators coming in, and Capra himself went out with a few of the Liberator raids, and quite extraordinary colour footage it is too. Yeah, it's desolate and yet it's not. It's obviously beautiful and vibrant and all that. And one thing I really dig is not too many ice cream colours. This is really, you know, not too many of the melty ice cream blends that we're inclined to get. Even that's perfectly alright to me. That's quite beautiful. So we'll take her over to Chernofski Harbor and we'll leave it at that. So I bought Victoria Falls to see how they get that looking with the mist from the waterfalls and so on, because I have to tell you, I've done flights up around near where I used to live, around Katoomba and places like that in the Blue Mountains outside Sydney, and it is heartbreaking when you see the waterfalls here, and you know, you think, oh, that's a bit twee. So hopefully I'll check out, I'll try and leave a link to the Victoria Falls ones, because it does look like they've mastered that whole 3D illusion. How amazing is this cloud? Like an atomic crown. Incredible. But yeah, that'll be good if they get that right, because I'd like to see Victoria, Wentworth Falls and some of the other, even here in Victoria you get some really amazing places. But yeah, Victoria Falls in Africa, I want to see what that looks like. I believe there are some bush trips for it, so depending on the length of them, I might try and record one of those to bore you all gormless with those as well. I think I've clocked in over 50 videos, and a testimony to me doing something right. I think they on average receive about 7 or 8 views each, and you know what, I can live with that, because being the churlish git that I am, that kind of works for me. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about, the Redwing stuff. So no sooner had I bought all those 1935 airfields for a solid price at the marketplace than I see they released Geneva over the past couple of days. So of course I grabbed that. I think it was $13.45 or something Oz. Outstanding price. I don't know if you all you cats, if you do watch these things, you're probably sick of it. You get the gist of it by now. But what I did want to say was, seeing that, because I thought they were only going to have a limited release, but no. I went over to the Redwing Copter website, and it looks as though they have a whole lot more in the offing, in the weight. They've got quite a few from America. It's a Patterson Lakeside for where the Zeppelins used to come in. I don't know if that's going to be scenery or an airfield or whatever. They are also doing a Zeppelin. Now, they're playing their cards tied to their chest. So, hopefully it'll be flyable. Doesn't say there are some works in progress, both scenery-wise and aircraft-wise. Unfortunately, a lot of the aircraft will be static. A lot of the latte couleres will be static and so on and so forth. But they have left it up in the air as to whether they're going to make the Bugatti 100 Racer flyable. That is WIP, and hopefully they're going to make that flyable, which will be awesome, because I love the Bugatti 100. Who couldn't? It is just such a weird creature with a kind of integrated wing, and it's just so odd. It's such an odd beastie, but also aesthetically super cool. There we go, that's a little healthier. You going to behave? Keep on trying to pull to the left, so I'm just going to try and trim you out a bit. So the P100 Racer, or the Model 100 Racer, they are doing the Latte Coeur 28, I think, Aeropostale, and they are doing the Farm and Goliath. So that Goliath that you see me banging on about, if you've watched any of the other 1935 videos, it does look as though they're making that flyable, which is super cool. So hopefully I'll make it with the 4K textures and lots of Easter eggs. Just a joy to fly. you know, those older aircraft. They do seem to have a lot of work in progress to sort of flesh out that 1935 world. So here's hoping, clan. Like I said, I'll leave a link. They even give you a bit of a potted history on it all and what they're trying to achieve. So Redwing, I take my hat off to you. Thanks for coming as far as you have. Super, super, super cool. What else excites me? Tao Butalk is doing a Ford Trimotor. I think Mikey over at Overkill does a really cool preview of it, and so that's really cool. What else? What else might tickle your fancy if you're inclined to watch this sort of video? I don't know. I imagine there's a lot of stuff. I have a feeling that Sal 1800 and Shepburn might be in the works for some new stuff, which of course is always welcome. Their stuff is up on .to. I personally think it's good enough. I'd pay for it. I don't know about you cats, but I'd gladly pay for it. The work they're doing, yes, they're labours of love, but I do think they could make a penny or two off it, and it wouldn't be remiss. So what do you cats been getting? Oh, sorry man, I forgot to get back to you. I haven't bought the PC6 Pilatus yet with the floatplane variant. I'll get around to it. I meant to purchase that, and of course, you know, the ADHD kicks in. No sooner are you looking at it than something shiny attracts your attention, and you go, oh, squirrel, and you go and buy that instead. And that's so often the case with me. And I'm ashamed. I do feel a certain shame and kind of weird privilege, if you will, when I look through the hangar of payware and freeware aircraft and the 1,000+ add-ons I've got for the simulator, freeware or payware, whatever. You know, I just think, oh my god, it's so self-indulgent, this thing. But you know, I'm an old man. I've earned it. Duh. That being said, I would be keen to hear what you cats have been flying, what you've been doing. I hope you're not too dusty from the New Year's celebrations, and if you are, I have absolutely no sympathy for you, so sucked in. Nyerny, nyerny, nya nya. You brought it upon yourself? No, in all earnestness, I hope you had a fantastic New Year. I hope 2023 stands up for all of us. Brings us unbound love, attention, wealth, fame, fortune, prosperity, friendship, kindness, peace, compassion. Because these things don't go astray. Especially those latter ones, if I may speak some old style hippie shit. Wow, it's so raw. This place it's alien, quite alien looking. Glorious, mate. Let's hop out. That's pretty sensational. I wish I could knock out the external instruments, but when you're in bush trips, I don't think you can. That's okay. No biggie. No biggie, gang. No biggie. Let's pick up the pace a bit, eh? Yeah, I'm not one to have POI and identifiers and break the immersion, but I will make an exception this time around. I'm yawning. I've been sitting up late writing, and although I'm still on leave for another week, I find myself enjoying sitting up writing. Okay, I'm going to go on a strange rant. Here's a strange rant for you. And again, apologies if you're a newbie and you haven't been to watched any of my stuff before, but honestly, I just talk crap for 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes, whatever. I do try and make sense occasionally. Doesn't work out too often though. So, yeah. As someone famous once long ago said, be yourself, they'll get used to you eventually. So, you know, as one does when one is on leave and one doesn't have anywhere to be or is not inclined to go visiting relatives or friends or whatever, I finally binged on Peaky Blinders. I'd started watching it years ago on streaming, Netflix. And I did enjoy it because I've got to admit, Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Helen McCrory, you know, you don't get much better than that. They're phenomenal actors. They are actors of the generation, together with actors like Javier Bardem out of Spain and so on and so forth. Absolutely outstanding. Their choice in material that they work with, brilliant. Stephen McKnight, fantastic writer. And so I'd only made it into a season and a half years ago. And this time I decided to binge on it all. And I have to admit, I kind of wish I'd stopped at season 2 because they all just become so profoundly unlikable. For all the noble intent afterwards, they're just profoundly unlikable, increasingly by degrees, profoundly unlikable characters. However, as I did with James Joyce's Ulysses 30 odd years ago, I persisted. And I'm glad I did because I like that sense of finishing a marathon. Whew, glad that one's over. And that is the case here as it was with Ulysses. But honestly, I was really frankly disappointed that I went into a spiral. You know, all the performances remained outstanding. By and large, the writing remained outstanding, but the scenarios themselves were kind of repeats. They were doing the divisive or the standard cinematic device of just upping the ante from season to season as they could. Curiously, I did find the ending really rewarding, but yeah, I must admit, I desperately wanted to love the whole show, and I'm almost ashamed to admit that I don't, and I'm glad I got that one out of my system. So thanks for listening to me rant. That's it. That's all I wanted to say on that one. I don't know, the shows like Sopranos was a work of art, Breaking Bad, work of art. Peaky Blinders should have been up with there, and in many respects excelled there. But clearly, no, kind of left me cold by about season 3. Great shame. Justified, work of art. The Wire, work of art. But yeah, I was hoping to put Peaky Blinders on that shelf, but no, breaks my heart that I can't. So I'm keeping a lookout for any telltale weights from any GEVs or Chronoflans or whatever. I ain't seeing Jack at the moment. So what have we talked about? Well, I've raved on about the Piper Warrior. Massive tick on that one plan. If you're thinking about it, go for it. Should still be on special over at the Just Flight website for the next couple of days, I believe. Might be the end of sale today or tomorrow. Great price for what you get, bang for the buck. The Victoria Falls stuff that I picked up, the Piper L4 that I picked up. What else? The Joy of Bush Trips, the Redwings copter stuff, or the Redwing stuff, the scenery on the horizon, potential aircraft that are on the horizon as well. I think that's about it, gang. How alien and spooky does this joint look? I will answer that. It looks very alien and very spooky. Cool, so I think we just bring it down into Chernofski Harbor, hopefully, and that's it. Where do we put it down? Let's have a look. Let us have a look. Sam O'Neill. Outstanding cast. Sorry, I'm still harping on about Peaky Blinders. Outstanding freaking cast. Paul Anderson. Outstanding. Yeah, anyway. So we're going to do it, we'll put it down in this misty, freaky part of the world. I take my hat off to any of you cats who live up this way. Yes, it's impressive, yes, absolutely glorious and stunning, but Jesus, it would drive me mental with the harsh landscape, I can't say barren, I don't doubt that it's thriving and alive, but it just looks unrelenting, this place. I would like to go there, I'd love to visit. But yeah, full on, absolutely full on. Alright, okay, we're going to put it down. We'll bring around the headland. We've got enough to work with flaps wise, I think, so once we hit the headland we'll give her a notch, maybe two, bring our floats down and see what we've got. Okay. One notch. Dumping at a mighty speed. Now we're going to have to come up. Yep, good. Alright, so. Don't want to bring her in too soon. I want to at least try to bring her down and her up a little bit, see how we go. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I don't like the cabin viz. I really wish I had a little more to work with. I think. Trying to hold her off about 80. Kiddo. Be kind to me. Oh well. Yeah, not... No, that's alright. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're down. Don't know what to expect now. Have I completed it? Let's have a look, shall we? So anyway, this is, I believe this is one of the 40th anniversary bush trips. It's quite pretty. Quite pretty. It'll be even prettier if I don't prank it as we get to the shoreline. I guess this is where we're meant to be. Surely. I'm hoping the handbrake will allow me to sort of cast out the harbour here. Yeah. No, looks like we didn't catch those Chernofski if they're out there at all. Alright, and I'm not seeing anywhere that sort of boasts of civilization, are you? Definitely not. There we go. There we go. Is that it?